Thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
Today, an Israeli drone was shot down by Syrian forces. The drone, a Skylark, otherwise known as a Skyrider in Hebrew, is a tactical surveillance drone created by the Israeli-based company Elbit Systems and operated by the IDF's artillery corps. The drone had been shot down by Syrian forces in the Quneitra region of the Syrian Golan Heights. The Israeli military has said that there is no chance that Syrian forces will be able to retrieve classified data from the drone. This event comes days after Israel carried out airstrikes targeting weapons convoys en route to the Lebanese terrorist group Hezbollah, and just 2 days after the IDF is suspected of assassinating a pro-Assad militant in the same area using a drone. Israel has just approved a law restricting NGO funding for political campaigns. 41 lawmakers in the Knesset voted in favor of the bill advanced by MK Yoav Kish from the Prime Minister's Likud party, while 27 voted against it. The Prime Minister supported the bill in its original form after the V15 organization waged an intensive campaign to oust him during the last election. Proponents of the bill say it's designed to make it harder for wealthy individuals to circumvent financing laws in order to invest large sums of money to influence Knesset elections. However, social action groups and other civil society organizations fear that law will make it harder for them to raise funds and promote various public campaigns. A number of controversial provisions were dropped from the final legislation, including a clause that would have prevented restrictions on donors to media outlets that supported a specific candidate, and another one that would have prevented organizations from transporting candidates to polling stations. The last clause was dropped because it was seen as disproportionately affecting Arab and ultra-Orthodox voters. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Finance Minister Moshe Kahlon have still failed to reach a compromise regarding the fate of the Israeli broadcasting company. Kahlon has hinted that if a compromise is not reached soon, he might leave the Prime Minister's ruling coalition, forcing an early election. On Saturday, after months of debating on whether or not to close the IBA and replace it with something else, Netanyahu announced his final decision to close the IBA. Kahlon has vehemently opposed closing the Israeli Broadcasting Authority, saying that doing so would be a waste of funds. On Monday, Israeli media reported that the company's decision to hire veteran news anchor Geula Evan had greatly motivated the Prime Minister's decision. Evan is married to Gideon Sa'ar, a former Interior and Education Minister, who resigned from the Likud in 2014, but he's expected to make a political comeback and is considered by many political insiders as a viable candidate against Netanyahu in the Likud primaries. 7 ultra-Orthodox Jews were arrested for temporarily blocking the entrance to Jerusalem. They'd been part of a larger protest against the imprisonment of Israel Meir Toledano, who was arrested at his home in the southern city of Ofakim 8 days ago, for failing to comply with his draft orders. Ultra-Orthodox Jews are generally exempt from military service, but in order to obtain that exemption, they must arrive in person to their local draft office. Toledano is a follower of the influential Rabbi Shmuel Auerbach, the leader of the Lithuanian Ultra-Orthodox community in Jerusalem. Auerbach forbids students from going to the draft office and has been calling for his supporters to take to the streets in protest of the draft. On Sunday, ultra-Orthodox protesters in the religious city of Bnei Brak gathered at the home of Yaakov Rashi, a senior figure in the drafting of ultra-Orthodox soldiers, leading to the arrest of 5 people for violent behavior. Last week, ultra-Orthodox Jews demonstrated in several cities to call for Toledano's release and hung effigies of religious soldiers in army uniforms throughout one Orthodox Jewish neighborhood. Police have referred to the incident as incitement, but have yet to make any arrests. Today, Israel is facilitating the transfer of 300 million shekels, or $82 million, in cash to the Gaza Strip. The money comes from several Gulf countries and the European Union and is allocated to the salaries of some 50,000 Palestinian Authority government employees. Over the past several years, PA employees have been receiving close to a half or even a third of their salaries because of the Egyptian crackdown on Hamas's tunnels in 2013, which has left Gaza strapped for cash. The salary crisis is believed to have been one of the reasons Hamas escalated tensions with Israel in 2014, leading to a full-scale war that took the lives of some 2,100 Palestinians and 73 Israelis.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.